Hi guys, I am really excited to share with you a book that my students devoured. It is different than the other books that I usually read with my students because it's an easier read, but because it had some good topics for my lower 6th grade middle school students, it's also good for upper elementary. I chose to give it a try with the kids. If you are working with nature or adventure with your students, then today's book pick is a good resource to have in your classroom library. It's Wilder Boys by Brandon Wallace. It is definitely a fun read for the kids, and it surely teaches some good lessons also. So the story starts off with two good-spirited preteen boys whose dad left, and they live with their mom who is not well, and they live with their mom's abusive boyfriend who has some bad habits, and I'll just let you read that. They run away from home eventually in search of their dad when their mom gets hurt badly, and they want to avoid living with their mom's boyfriend. So they leave, they go on a journey through the wilderness, and they meet different people who help them along the way. And during this time, they learn different techniques to survive in the wild. They learn about nature, the animals, and that's the part that gets fun. If your students are learning anything about the wild, then you have great resources online that you can go and show them pictures, nature, and adventure, and all kinds of cool stuff. There's a bear in there. But the book also has some great themes like keep working hard and you'll reach your goal, and they talk about perseverance and determination and having a goal and reaching that goal and finding ways to get to that goal. And then there's sibling rivalry somewhere in the middle of all of this adventure and journey and big track from one state to another state, so it can also incorporate geography. There are some parts that might need some mature addressing, like abuse and runaways, crimes with guns and money and all that, but it's not too bad. It's totally doable. The book does leave us hanging at the end, and it leads us to reading the second book, which I actually think is better than the first book, and my students actually enjoyed the second book more than the first book, but they really liked the first book too. First book does have a reading counts quiz right now. The second book does not have a reading counts quiz. For other teacher resources, you can click on the link below for my curriculum bundle at Teachers Pay Teachers. I'd read this book with my 6th graders again, and I would recommend it for 5th or 6th grade. It is a good book overall. It is an easy read, but I think Brandon Wallace does a good job incorporating a bunch of things that we can talk about in this book. First book, second book, both are good, and I hope this might encourage you to bring in some nature and wild and adventure and journey into your classroom library.